Hi everybody, John Gill here with Journey into Pickleball. Just like I've done my journey into martial arts, interviewing great people, I have another one in pickleball. Hall of Famer, Steve Paranto. Steve, it is a pleasure to meet you.
Well, it's awesome to be here. I mean, you're in my neck of the woods.
Yeah, Oregon.
So, yeah, 2 hours from my house near Portland. I just got done teaching a 3-day camp in Bainbridge Island where the sport was invented.
That's awesome.
I actually 3 days ago played on the original court. A friend of mine bought that property who I played in the world's first tournament in '76. We played with wooden paddles and the old Kosen ball that I learned with. And I'm 1-0 on the original court. I'm never playing there again.
He's a victory, a full-time mate. That is awesome, Steve. Oh, I've watched your videos, mate. You are such a great teacher. I've learned. I took it up beginning of last year, and I've watched all your videos. You're one of my favourites on the Pickleball channel, and watching your videos, I've learned a lot from you. And now it's just great to meet you. Now, where did it all start? Well, you told me before you turned to tennis and then PE teacher.
So I was a tennis player, and I was 18 years old going to Green River Community College, which is 20 minutes from where the sport was invented. They always had a court set up to play pickleball. And all of us tennis players, rainy, crappy weather, let's play this game.
Yeah.
And so we got good at it. And
do you remember what year that was you first started playing?
When I was 18 years old, 1974. This is my 47th year playing pickleball. You'd think I'd be better by then.
He just won gold, by the way, as usual. So, how many medals have you won, Steve? Quite a few.
I have to say I'm very proud of it. So I'm still winning gold at the highest level for my age.
Yep.
And this is the 6th decade doing that. 70s.
How old are you now?
I am 65, but it's 6 decades. It's 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000, 2 teens, 220. So now, after COVID, just recently, first tournaments winning in the 220. So 6 decades of playing tournaments. Cheers.
Cheers, man. That's a lot of medals. I interviewed Dave Weinbach, and he's won like 130 or something, and his kids are
Dave
counting.
Weinbach is a baby to me.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. I remember when he was just learning. So,
yeah, exactly.
Great
you must
player.
have so many great stories, because Steve would have met everybody, of course.
Well, but now I have, except for now, if you've noticed, half of the new top pro players we never heard of 2 years ago. They're all pro tennis,
right.
and so I don't know a lot. And since COVID, this is a big change in pro players coming to the sport. But up until then, yes, I knew everybody.
Right. I'm sure that you're a Hall of Fame, which is fantastic. I actually saw that on video as well. Now, Sue, it's a long time ago, 40 odd years. Now, you're a PE teacher. Was your main job?
I was a PE teacher for 30 years, and I did coach tennis, high school tennis.
And you played college tennis, and pretty
small
good.
College.
Yeah.
I purposely chose the college that I could be #1 singles at.
That's a good idea.
So you choose a team that's kind of low level.
Yeah.
You don't want to choose, UW or something where you'll never see varsity action. I wanted to play, so that was important to me.
That's awesome.
I wanted to play.
Yeah, you got that lean body for tennis and pickleball. Pickleball, is pickleball in college at all? Do they?
So there's clubs. There's, I think what you're talking about is going to happen.
Yep.
I mean, it's probably going to start at the club level first.
Yeah.
And then, colleges playing other colleges and kind of a club level thing. It's, there's no such thing as varsity pickleball at a college yet. But eventually, I mean, as soon as we announce that we're in an Olympic event.
Yeah, got to get Olympics.
Everybody's going to train. Every country's going to train.
Yeah.
And every country will get good in 2 years.
Yeah, that's
probably,
it.
Maybe less. I mean, you've been playing a year. So here we have a Australian tennis player who's I just watched him play. He's awesome, and that's the wonderful thing about this sport. You can bring all those athletic abilities you have from other sports, especially tennis and table tennis.
Yeah, exactly. And people who, I think it's Corinne Carr, just came from golf. And look how good she is. For
she did have a tennis background.
Oh, she did a little bit. Someone said she was more of a golfer.
She had a very good tennis background.
So most of the pros are pretty much tennis. I know Riley, I'm trying to get to Australia. He did. Yeah, I'm trying to get him. He was going to come to Australia next January, actually, because he wanted to watch the Australian Open and do some clinics. But now that COVID's hit again, we're going to wait till the year after. But I'm going to get Riley over to Oregon.
He's amazing. I love it. So I teach as a senior.
Get him too.
I teach everybody short dinking blocking.
Yeah.
That's Riley's style.
Yeah.
And Riley, with his long reach, he understands when I dink short, move people around, he's going to get the first pop before anybody else.
Right.
With his long reach. And I really think that's the way the game should be played. It isn't always played that way. but I advocate that, and
That's a good point.
He's the guy I always point out is this is a guy who plays a pro level because I'm teaching seniors most of the time. So I've done teaching camp with 24 seniors, and how do you teach seniors? Think short block, because you can get better quickly doing those two things. But Riley plays at the pro level doing that.
Yeah, exactly. And now, third shot drop's an interesting thing. From a tennis background, I was banging a first at first, and I realised that's not going to work against a bit of players, so I had to work on third shot drops.
Yeah.
What percentage of the time, on average, do you think third shot drop? 4 out of 5?
You know, it depends on the team and who you're playing against.
Yeah.
I
saw you doing it really well over there.
I think 95 out of 100.
Okay.
But I just got done playing at Larry Moon in the regionals in Boise, and I would say he's the best player my age in the world, bar none, and everybody else would say that.
Who was that, sorry?
Larry Moon.
Larry Moon, okay.
And he hits most of his thirds hard,
Yeah.
but this high over the net, and then he hits an aggressive fifth because you give him a shot, he can do things with on the fifth. And he's a great. Once he gets to the line, he's the best thinker in the world and controls the net. And so what you're seeing now with the hard thirds are people who goes, I'm going to hit a hard third. I might 1 out of 15 get a free point.
Yeah.
And the others I don't. I'm going to dink the fifth, maybe easier than I could.
So
the
third shot drive, fifth shot drop.
So they're hitting third shot
drop,
hard, fifth shot dink.
There's a bit of variation. You're right, it depends on.
But you have to have I think it's very difficult to hit a hard third this high over the net.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But they do that. They do that.
Yeah, you're right. It's an interesting game. It's either have to hit it really hard and low, or really soft.
Maybe a little. Actually, not maybe not really hard.
Yeah,
maybe just 70% hard with a little top spin.
Yeah. So it's dipping down.
Yes.
Yeah. It's either top spin.
Puts everybody.
Or
and then they have
hard
to hit
low,
a defensive shot, and then you get an easy fifth.
Yeah. What do you think about these new serves? I've
So
started spin serve.
So I just happened to play against some very good players in the clinics that I taught, who are experts at the Zane saw. And even the ones where you turn your back to the server and you don't know if it's bouncing left or right. I have a very good feeling they're going to be outlawed. I would say if I was to bet, I would probably bet my house that serve will be outlawed.
Wow.
Because it does change the nature of the game. And you have to remember the people on rules committees are older people, like us. And many of them don't want the game to drastically change. Yeah.
We're now.
Yeah.
I'm 59. I'm 59.
You're a younger senior than me. I remember when I was your age, and I go, look at those terrible 60-year-olds. Oh, they're so old. I feel sorry for them. And now I'm that guy.
Exactly.
I have to say this. So we played this morning, and my partner Craig Flair went.
Some of the guys play?
Yeah. Amazing play. And I have to say.
We're at Corvallis, by the way, everybody.
Yeah, Corvallis, Oregon. We're
at the senior Oregon Games.
State Beavers are here if you are a NCAA sports fan.
Yeah.
But the difference in even the sound that 50-year-olds make when they hit the ball with 60 on, they pop the ball harder. I mean, just sitting here with Craig, my partner, we won this. We went undefeated this morning.
Yeah.
The ball didn't sound the same as when these guys hit. There's a big difference between a 50-year-old and a 65-year-old.
Yeah. That's why they're doing 5-year age groups if they can.
And I think that's absolutely what they should
like
do
the Nationals.
everywhere.
Like senior tennis.
This is why Jimmy Connors still is not a professional pickleball player on tour. Is the same thing. I mean, there's no...
Does he play? Does Jimmy Connors
he plays... Well, no, his hips are really bad.
His hips? I love to see Jimmy Connors play pickleball.
But McEnroe still plays seniors, right?
Tennis to me.
Tennis.
Yeah, that's right.
I wish he would play pickleball. He'd have the best...
wouldn't it be awesome? Imagine McEnroe's third shot drop.
My dream is to be on the court with John McEnroe.
If anyone knows John McEnroe, tell him that pickleball.
I want you on the court. Yeah.
This is awesome. Now, so you've had an amazing career. Congratulations, mate. And your videos are awesome. So how do we find your videos on YouTube?
Well, if you push Steve Paranto instructional videos, but a boy, I say boy, he's 26 years old. To me, he's a boy. So I'm really good friends with Spencer Laurent. He came to me for lessons. He was a top table tennis player. Yeah. And he's a Twitch video guy. So over COVID, we got bored. I go, let's shoot some instructional videos. He titles them Pickleball TV.
Pickleball, because I've got my YouTube. What's this? My
professional
Pickleball League TV, because I put together this league last year.
Yeah. But
city versus
here's
city.
what I do want to promote.
Yeah.
I just signed with Selkirk.
Yes, yes.
And I'm very excited about that because, well, I know Rob and Mike very well, and they're awesome. They're actually pickleball players who make these paddles. So they understand the pickleball world. I mean, these guys still play tournaments. They have the biggest selection I've ever seen of paddles. I just absolutely love the paddle I'm using now. Won my first gold medal with it the first time using their paddle.
You guys got shit.
But what I'm excited about is I'm going to be doing instructional videos for Selkirk.
Oh, you
TV.
are?
Yeah.
Selkirk TV?
Yeah, so it'll be on
yes,
Selkirk TV.
I heard about that one.
Yeah.
I heard that one too.
So
That's cool,
so
man.
we'll be shooting a 10-part series, and I'm just writing the lesson plans now. So my job is to write the lesson plans and teach these videos.
That's awesome. I'll have to get you to do some, because I'm between Oregon and California. We'll have to get you to come do some clinics as well.
Absolutely.
So come, if you want to, I'll organise it. Pickleballleagues@gmail.com. Come and have this great man teach you, as well as I'm getting Riley and Lindsay come in. Get Tyson for the singles players, things like that. This man's got so much experience. How many years again? 4?
Well, I started in '74. I know it's not quite 50 yet. So I am the luckiest person in the world pickleball player because I was in the right place at the right time and I had the right dad.
Right.
So if you guys understand this, I started in '74. Everything was wood. I was bitching to my dad that the wooden paddles are too heavy. I was coming from tennis. I weighed my tennis racket. It weighed 13 times heavier. I mean, it weighed 7 times heavier than a tennis ball. I weighed my pickleball paddle. It weighed 13 times heavier than the ball. I go, Dad, ratio's wrong. 2 weeks later, my dad has a prototype. My dad was a Boeing engineer. Knew the materials, comes to me with 4 paddlings from a Boeing jet airplane, 2 prototypes. Now my partner and I are undefeated for 2 years.
Oh, I love it.
We have
That's
the
awesome.
best paddle. Now let's start a company, and we're selling them out of our trunk of our car.
Oh, mate. Okay.
Yeah.
So what,
Yeah.
if anyone's interested in that,
So we started ProLite.
ProLite. Oh,
ProLite was us.
Oh, ProLite.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
for
yeah,
12 years, we were the only company selling anything but wood. So if you went to any tournament, you had our paddle.
Yeah.
So the coolest thing is when we first started this, we go to a tournament and go, hey, look, there's 3 or 4 ProLites. Now pretty soon it became to be, now there's only 3 or 4 wood paddles.
Yeah.
Then it became no wood paddles, all our paddles.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, Steve
But
Paranto,
you
this
couldn't
is
get
awesome.
a patent on that kind of thing.
Right.
So eventually, big company, the sport grows.
Yeah.
Oh, so Wilson wants to get into pickleball.
Right.
And, yeah, and totally understandable.
America's fastest growing sport, soon to be the world's fastest growing sport. It's going to take it more to Australia.
And it should be.
Yeah, it's amazing sport. I mean, I love the martial arts and tennis for 40 odd years, but this sport is just, I'm obsessed. I love it, and it's just so much fun, guys. So if you haven't tried pickleball yet, you must. I'll call it a fun game with a funny name. Pickleball for the dog Pickles, right?
Sort of.
Sort of. There's a bit of Pickles.
I know the whole story.
Okay, we'll do it in part 2.
Yeah, that'll be part 2.
Great, man. If you're interested in Steve do a clinic, I'll promote you. Pickleballleagues@gmail.com. John Gill. Get this great man, junior and senior.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't matter.
I taught elementary PE for 30 years.
Yeah, exactly. So anyone wants to learn
we
pickleball,
put pickleball courts on the playground.
there you go.
So I had the best 12-year-olds in the world back in the 80s.
Oh, there you go. Can't get any more experience than this. Hall of Fame as well. Thanks, Steve. You're a legend,
You're
mate.
welcome.
Take care, everybody. Keep pickleballing. Bye for now.